All right, good evening, everyone. Good evening. Live market observation. Let's see what we got here. All right. This is volume 36. What you're looking at is the NADEX platform. If you're new to the platform, if you're new to TeamAlliance content, please make yourself home. Well, make yourself at home. Ask whatever questions that you have about NADEX in particular, TeamAlliance training and what we do. Whatever your question may be, don't hesitate to ask. I'd like to do a little brief introduction for those that may be new and unfamiliar with NADEX, and just to get you up to speed with what you're looking at. When you guys come on, please make sure that you like and share the video from whatever platform you're tuning in from. If you're on Facebook, be sure to follow the TeamAlliance Facebook page and turn on the bell notifications after you like and share the video. If you're tuning in from YouTube, same thing. Subscribe to the channel. Turn on your bell notifications after you like and share the video. And if you're tuning in from Twitter, be sure to retweet after you like and share the video. All right, so right now we're streaming live on 3 platforms, and I can see comments from whatever platform you're on. So as I mentioned, if you have a question, don't hesitate to ask. Let me adjust this microphone a little bit. Yes, don't hesitate to ask whatever questions you might have, okay? All right, so I think I just finished sharing in the last group just now. Let me also put it on my timeline. Just to make sure that everyone has an opportunity to tune into the live. Okay, so currently the overall markets are still kind of moving around a bit. Earlier this afternoon, there was some type of FOMC. I think it probably was the minutes. Usually when they do the minutes, it will activate volatility in the markets overall. And I think that that's what we are seeing the remnants of. We're seeing like the aftershock of that still. Since I've been on observing, market has kind of just been doing the same thing pretty much. It has slowed down though. It actually has slowed down, but there is still too much overall movement in the market for what it is that we're waiting to see. But this is the beauty of what we do. We just observe. So we're not really concerned about what the market is doing as far as us attempting to get into a trade. We're more so concerned about understanding what the market is doing so that we recognize whether or not the market is stable or not. And in that understanding is money, money, money. The profits to be made are in understanding the movement of the market. And this applies to whatever market you're observing. Now, on this platform that we use, this is the NADEX platform. NADEX is powerful because it is an exchange and they have an instrument available trade called 5-minute binary options. And these options make it possible for us to capitalize directly on our understanding of movement of the market. So what I'm saying is that because we understand how the market moves, we can make money consistently on this platform. And it's interesting actually because it looks like the market is actually trying to create a little barrier here. We're going to see what this does. It's funny how the market be just switching up when I come on here. It's not me. I guess the market just likes the vibe. But what was I just saying? Oh, NADEX. So NADEX is an exchange, and what that means is you have, for everyone who trades in one direction, or I should say on one side, because it's actually not necessarily about direction of the movement. It's more so about the position of the market itself when it comes to these binaries, because each binary option represents a line in the sand, so to speak. And the position of the market relative to that line will determine who wins and who loses the trade. So with it being an exchange, every time someone wins on one side, someone is losing on the other side. Now, for some people, they may, not like that. because they feel like, oh, that's terrible. No, it's not terrible. It's called markets. See, every market is an exchange. Someone is buying and someone's selling. That's what creates a market. The arbitrage comes from who is more knowledgeable about what the market is doing at the time. That's how you profit in markets. So even though we're not directly trading the euro, for example, we're not directly trading this market. We're trading binary options on this market. What we're trading is the binaries. And it's very simple the way that the binaries work. You're either correct or you're incorrect about where the market ends relative to the strike price of the binary option. So, for example, if we were looking at this binary here, which is the bottom of this green box, you see the bottom of this box. This green box is just here to represent the bottom strike price and the top strike price for wherever the market is currently positioned. So right now, the market is actually in between these two strikes, the top one here and the bottom one here. The position of the market relative to the bottom one is above, right? Right now, the market's above this line. So the bottom of this box represents this horizontal line right here, which represents this strike, which is the 1689 strike, okay? Trading this is simple. If I'm anticipating that the market is going to stay above this line, I can buy this. I literally can place a trade to buy this option. And by buying, what I'm saying is that I believe the market will stay above this line by the time this option expires. So the expiration is in 3 minutes and 47 seconds. If I'm buying, what I'm saying is I believe the market will stay above this line by the time this clock goes down to 0. If I'm right, I'm going to earn whatever the profit is on the trade. So let's say that I entered this trade at 80 on the buy side. The way that you determine profit is you take you take 100, and you subtract it from whatever you paid for the option. So if you bought at 80, you subtract 80 from 100, that leaves you with 20. $20 for this contract is what I would earn if the market were to remain above this line in this example by the time the clock runs out. So you see the simplicity of trading these options. It's just that simple, just how I just described it. Question is the market going to stay above the line? So although I broke down and explained how the option works, it does nothing for your understanding of how the market works. This is where TeamAlliance comes in, because when you train here and you acquire the market skill, you're going to understand how the market itself works, meaning how the movement of the market will allow you to anticipate the outcome of the position that the market will be in when the clock runs out on the binary. In other words, if you understand the movement of the market, you can know where the market is going to be when the clock runs out on the binary. So it's not that you're picking the trade. In other words, you're not selecting the option and just saying, well, I want to make $20 on this trade, so I'm going to enter at 80. Or I want to make $30 on this trade, I'm going to enter at 70. What you enter at is irrelevant. It's whether or not the market will be in the position that you need it to be in when the clock runs out. that matters? That's the question. So it has nothing to do with the trade that you're selecting. Am I making sense? The trade is only based on the market that we're watching. But the movement of the actual market is what will determine whether or not the trade that you selected will win. So you need to take more time to understand the movement of the market so that you can anticipate the outcome of the position that the market will be in when the clock runs out on the binary. That's the key to you winning consistently. So this is a full-blown education that I just gave you as far as how to trade profitably with these binary options. It's not about picking the trade. It's not about, what price you entered at. If there was option pricing, all of those things are irrelevant. And this is why when we're actually applying our process, you know what the last thing is that we look at? The very last thing we look at is the actual pricing of the option. Last thing, which is exactly what I'm explaining as far as what we do to be consistently profitable. We're not as concerned about the pricing of the option as we are about knowing whether or not the market is stable. And this is important that you understand this right away. Now, option pricing is a part of the process, yes, but it's not the most important part. In fact, it becomes the least important part. Least important because it's the last thing that you'll end up doing. Not least important because it has no importance. That's not what I'm saying. It's the least important relative to all of the things that are important. So in other words, it's just the last thing that we are actually concerned about. We're concerned about it on the back end. We're not even looking at option pricing until we have established that the market has stability in it. So we pay more attention to things like the candle staying in the box, which is actually what you see now, isn't it? Look at this. Coincidentally, this is starting to happen as soon as I come on here to do an observation. It's just purely coincidental. We like to see the market remaining in the box. It's one of the things that we look for. We also like to see smaller candles in the box. We also like to see when the candles cluster together when they're small and when they position themselves in range of either the top or the bottom of the box. I just described 3 different things that pertain to what we observe. Nowhere have I mentioned option pricing yet. Why not? Because it's not relevant yet. Until we see those 3 things that I just mentioned, we're not concerned with the option pricing. As a matter of fact, the option pricing is just simply a mechanism that the platform is using to display the orders that are available based on where the position of the market is right now. Which means that sometimes the orders are shown and sometimes they're not. Which means sometimes you'll see option pricing and sometimes you won't. It'll look like it's priced out or there's no pricing available. So I'm going through these nuances because these are things that I know people have and will ask questions about. So I'm kind of trying to, I'm jumping ahead so that you kind of understand the dynamic that we're dealing with. So you don't put too much emphasis on things that you don't need to focus that much on. Anytime you're talking too much about option pricing and that there was no pricing and this and that, you're actually in trade mode. You're in trade mode. And the reason that I'm saying that is because when you apply the process, your confidence in recognizing stability is going to allow you to fully execute the process without being concerned about option pricing and whether or not you get filled on the trade. Meaning that sometimes when you place the order, you don't get filled. In other words, there's no one on the other side of that particular binary to take your trade that you want to enter. So for example, if I'm buying at 80, there has to be someone on the other side selling at 20. Someone has to take the other side of the risk for that trade. This is what NADEX is. NADEX is an exchange. You're not trading against NADEX. You're trading against whoever is on the other side of the binary that you're trading. So there has to be someone on the other side of the binary in order for your trade to be what? Filled. This is very educational, what I'm going through right now. This is going to help you guys to understand whether you're new, whether you've been here for a long time. Just understanding this dynamic in more detail and more thoroughly will help you in your observation, and it will just help you in your overall general understanding of what we do. It will sharpen you for sure. Because when you put too much emphasis on option pricing and option this and what is the option doing, what you're doing is you're shifting into trade mode. And you know that that's not where I want you to be. I need you to focus on the market. Focus on the process that we use. Our only objective is to identify and recognize that the market is stable. We're spending our time determining how many layers of stability the market has at the time. What do I mean by that? Well, the first indication of stability in the market is range. Range is when the candles are ranging. Why is that important? Well, let's look at it logically. Each of these candles, these red and blue candles that you see on the chart, each of these represent a 1 minute time period, 60 seconds. So every candle that you see is market activity in 60 seconds. You're following me? Every candle. It doesn't matter if it's a big candle or a small one. Every candle represents 60 seconds of market activity, 60 seconds of market movement. The size of the candles is telling you how much movement is in the market at the time. Bigger candles means there's more movement in that 60-second period. Smaller candles means there's less movement in that 60-second period. When you have more of one versus the other, that's the dominance that's currently in the market. What am I saying? If you have more big candles than small candles, then that means that volatility is dominant. Big candles are dominant because you have more of them than you have small candles. Simple. Just simple logic. So if we know that the first indication that the market gives off that it is stable is when the candles start to range in a smaller, or in a more narrow distance, or let's just say the market moves less, top to bottom. What happens when you see that is you'll see smaller candles. The less movement involved, the smaller the candle. So if the first indication that the market gives us that is starting to stabilize is smaller candles, then when we start to see more smaller candles than bigger candles, we know that the market is beginning to stabilize. You see that? Do you guys see how simple it is to understand? It's very simple. The key to this is the patience and the discipline that you need, because your objective is to wait. So let's use today as an example. Just like I said, from earlier around 2 p.m. this afternoon, the market has been very volatile as a result of the FOMC. You still see the aftershock of that. There's still big candles. If you just look at the overall chart, there are bigger candles, more of those than there are smaller candles. Just overall, just look at the candles. More longer candles than shorter candles. There's more longer candles than shorter candles. This is the first time here, which coincidentally is when I came on, that you really started to see the market concentrating its activity between two strikes. The market did it a little bit over here, and really it was actually sitting on the strike, so we don't really count that because the candles were not in the box. They were touching the top of the box here. So we don't even really count that. So we can't count that. But the first time that you saw the market actually in the box was here, when I first came on the observation. First time that we're seeing that. Also, we're starting to see that there are more smaller candles. So you can see the market is attempting to transition. Through our observation, we'll be able to see that the market is doing it more often. In other words, all right, well, is the market presenting us with these smaller candles more frequently now? Are there more smaller candles than larger candles? We need to continue to observe in order to know that. Now, first layer is the range. That's the first indication of stability. The range being the smaller candles. So when we start seeing more smaller candles than bigger candles, we know that we're getting there. When we start seeing more of the candles stay in the box, this green box, for a longer period of time, we know that we're getting there. That's two layers. Another layer is where the position of the candles are, because the position of the candles will establish a barrier between where the candles are and where the strike price is. That's another layer. And when you see the candles actually clustered together, that barrier is being confirmed by the cluster of the candles, because each of those candles are positioned in a way where the movement is testing an area. And that's why the candles are clustering in that same general area. And if the market tests that barrier successfully and it respects it, you'll see the candles cluster. See? So there's another layer. So these are multiple layers that lead you to recognize that the market is stable. And the recognition of stability is our skill set. That's the difference between us and everybody else on the platform, because people don't look for stability in the market. People are looking for trades. People are looking for trade setups. We're not. Let me give you an example of how people get caught up. Someone might even see this, for example. They'll look at this and they'll say, "Oh, okay. Like the market is slowing down. I know that, those TeamAlliance dudes, they like to trade when the market slows down. Let me see if I can find a trade in here." And they'll look for a trade. They'll look for a trade set up. They'll assume that because the market is slowing down, that the market is slow. And when they place their trade, they're just finding a trade. So they're looking at the option pricing. They open up a ticket like this, right? And they're going to use whatever their logic is. They might look back at this and say, all right, well, it looks like there's some support here. So maybe the market's going to bounce here. Oh no, the market is going through the strike. Oh, it's okay, it's going down. You know what? Let me sell this. Oh, we got 30 seconds left. Yeah. Let me take this. I'm gonna wait till I see this around 20. I'm into this. And they're looking at this option pricing. They're like, all right, 34, 30. If I see 20, I'm entering. If I see 20, I'm taking it. They're watching. Ooh, 23. 27. Oh man, I missed it. See, they're looking for a trade setup. Now, mind you, if you look at this, look at where the indicative is. The indicative literally is 1 or 2 micropips below where the strike price was. They weren't basing their trade on the market being stable with the movement. They were basing that trade off of the trade setting up. And then now they have FOMO because if they didn't take that, they're looking, they say, oh, that one won. Damn, I missed it. Well, I'm taking the next one. See? And this is how people get beat up in the market because they're trying to trade. Now, if a person just did that, and people do that. First of all, let me just be clear with that. What I just showed you, people do that all the time. Exactly what I just went through. Oh, there's 30 seconds left. And there's pricing. Mind you, you're 1 micropip underneath the strike, though. So that's not even in sync. But they don't know what in sync means. They don't even understand that. They're just looking like, well, the market is slow. It looks like it's going to move down. There's pricing on the option. That looks like a good trade setup. And they'll go ahead and click in and try to take the trade. Especially because it was only 30 seconds left, too. So they'll do that. If they missed it, they'll have FOMO because that trade won. If they entered it, they'll feel like they did something great because the trade won. Oh, that was beautiful, man. That was good. That was a nice trade. I knew it was going to win. You knew it was going to win with 1 micropip underneath the strike. Okay. See, so we, on the other hand, never trade that way. There was nothing to even consider there. There's nothing even to consider now. See, that's why we have this box. This box is one of our tools. Everything that I just explained prior to that little silly trade setup that somebody might have taken outside of us, everything I explained prior to that, the layers, that's what's important. Range, the candles remaining in the box, not violating the top or the bottom of the box. In other words, not touching the strike prices. Doing that for a period of time. Seeing how long that takes place for. Seeing how often that repeats itself. Right? Smaller candles. Smaller candles positioned relative to the top or to the bottom of the actual box. Clustered together. Layers 3 and 4. So when you put those layers together, you're looking at the market and you're seeing stability, so you know the outcome of the movement. Because the market has established where the movement is going to be. And it's doing that through stabilization. When it stabilizes, it commits to what you're seeing. See? Skill. And that's why what we're doing is going to put you in the top 1% of income earners, because this skill set allows you to apply the same process over and over, over and over, over and over. If the market is how it is today, we're not trading today. We didn't do anything yet. Now, mind you, what time is it? 9:50? Between now and 12 o'clock, the market could slow down further, start to stabilize even more, start clustering, create a barrier, and set up a trade. It could do that between now and 12. Will it? We don't know. We're going to observe and see. Either way, we don't care. Whether it does or it doesn't, our job remains the same. It's to observe. So no matter what, we're always applying the skill in the market. We're never getting involved in trades because of being emotional. I didn't get a trade today. I've got to take a trade tonight. We don't do that. And understand that the consistency is what allows you to scale up with confidence. So you can start from one contract when you begin the project that I've laid out, Project Freedom. So if you're following my blueprint, just for purposes of what I'm talking about now, if you're following me and my blueprint, you're going to be following Project Freedom. Project Freedom starts with $100 with one contract. By you applying this same process over and over again, you win the trades. By you winning the trades, you elevate your confidence. So you're confident when you scale up from one contract to two, 2 to 3, 3 to 4 and 5, and so on and so forth. Your confidence is there because the skill set is in action. The skill set is being applied. So the confidence is there. We're not crossing our fingers when we trade. Oh, I hope it wins. We don't hope. We know the outcome of the movement in the market at the time because the market reveals it to us. Our job is to remain patient until the market reveals it to us, to remain disciplined so that we don't do anything else until the market reveals it to us. See? And then once the market shows it to us, then the market gives us a trade too. So everything literally that we need, the market provides. That's why this is skill in the market. It's market skill. It's not binary skill. Anybody can trade these binaries. There's no skill in that. The skill is in your ability to recognize what the market is doing. Trading the binary is just part of that process. That's why you'll win. That's why you know that you'll win. Mm-hmm. Hope this audio is not acting up. Is the audio coming through clear? Said a whole lot, man. And I made sure I closed everything, so it ain't like I have anything open. Good? Okay, cool. All right, so you know, this is what we focus on. And again, like I said, coincidentally, you see how the market once again is doing it again now. You're starting to see the candles remain in the box. These are smaller candles now. And what happens is the market is not like a light switch. It's like a dimmer. Instead of it just switching on and off, what it does is it gradually transitions from one environment to the other. So when the market is moving from instability to stability, it does that gradually. And we see the progression and we know the layers. We know the layers. It starts with the range. Smaller candles. Starts there. One of the next things that we'll see, it'll start staying in the box for longer periods of time. One of the next things we'll see, position. You'll see the candles in the box and they won't be touching the bottom or the top of the box. They'll be in range. Next thing you know, you got a cluster. I'm not making it up. This is what the market does. See? And it's about understanding that that's what the market does and waiting for it to take place. That's all it is. So the box literally is just a visual representation so that you can see the market do everything that I just explained. And you see it in real time. Yep. Yep. And that's exactly what the market will end up doing. It'll gradually do it. Gradually. Next thing you know, we have RCB. Next thing you know, MRMH is there too. And earlier in the observation, I was talking about the option pricing and just explaining that the option pricing is not as important as we think that it is. It's not as important. What's most important is your ability to recognize when the market is stable. That's what matters. Because if you're not able to do that, it ain't gonna matter anyway. It ain't gonna make a difference. So this should be interesting. What we see here. What we see here is going to tell us a lot of information about what this market wants to do. Let me see something real quick. So right now we in a 4 pip range, approximately. So that's a good sign. Let's see what this one is doing. This one is 5 now. So we still in that 4 or 5 pip micro pip area. Ideally, we want to see, you know, that 4-3 micro pip area as far as the size of the candles. And you want to see that manifesting more consistently than the bigger candles. So when you're watching and observing the market and you're not seeing that yet, you know that you're not there yet, because that's the first thing you should see as far as indication of stability. You see? That's the first thing, the range. Smaller range, tighter range. So it's very easy to never get caught up in any type of nonsense as far as trades go, because we don't do anything if the market is not presenting us with the layers that we need to identify stability. Like, we don't do anything. Contrary to what so many other people on the platform are doing, which is just trading their little hearts out. Trying to trade everything that they see that they think is a setup. Chasing money, chasing trades. Nope. That's not what we about at all. That is not what we're about. Our discipline and our patience is where our money is. Because that is the only way that you'll remain in alignment with the market. And remaining in alignment with the market is how you cash in. Not getting lucky because you flipped the coin and it landed on heads for you. See the difference? There's a difference. Again, if you guys have questions, please feel free to ask, especially if you're new. Especially if you're new. So in general, if you guys have been having issues of any type, I want y'all to bring them up. Especially when I'm on the live observation like this, because these are recorded. So my response is you can go back and watch to get more clarity on whatever the issue was. That's why I always encourage you guys to ask questions while we're here. If y'all got questions, feel free to ask. Exactly right. Never sit around looking for a trade. Observe the conditions. That's the job. Exactly. Exactly. And see, that's what we do here. That is exactly what we're doing here. And that's why I told you, the whole FOMO thing. FOMO is overrated, man. Like it really is. It's so overrated. Oh man, I could have won that one, man. I almost took it. I would have won that. Nope. You can't build your career doing that. This is all facts. Walker says looking for reasons to get in instead of understanding why stay out is a recipe for pain to the pockets. All day. All day. You better off not trading. Two sentences, huh? Very good. Very good. What's up, Maria? I think Maria joined us yesterday. Was that yesterday or today? Either today or yesterday. Also welcome to everybody else that is new. Somebody just joined us a little while ago. Who was that? Benjamin. I don't know if Benjamin is on here or not, but shout out to Benjamin. It's all about the Benjamins, baby. Now, what y'all want to do? Y'all don't know nothing about that. What's happening, Kelly? JT says, I stick with my tool and find stability. I'm confident in what I observe. There you go. There you go. Okay, that was yesterday, right? Yep. Yeah, Maria. I think Maria told me that she watched 301 a couple of times already, and was watching it again. On the path. 301 on repeat. That's our religion. That is our religion right there. It's like reading the Bible. Let's see this real quick. So I'm counting so far. So this was one here. I think this was the first one. So this is 1, 2. So 2 times we've had activity in the box. And it looks like we're going on the 3rd time now if this stays in the box. The way that I look at things, and I do it without any type of, pattern recognition. Like, I don't do that. I'm not curve fitting anything. Because the natural thing for us to do as human beings is to ask a question of how many times, or what number's a good number, how many times is it good, how do you know if that's enough. Like, we have a tendency to do that just as human beings, and I make it my business never to do that, because there's more power in the observation. Now, what I'm saying is this. So the first time that we saw the candles in the box was back here. This was when I first came on the platform with the observation, right? So this was one instance. Then there was one here. We just watching this a little while ago, right? Then you had this move down here, and now you have here. So the way I look at that, that's 3 times. So we've had 3 boxes so far. And this is just since I came on. So what time did I come on? Around 9:15? We'll say 9:15. So not even an hour. In an hour, I'm seeing that the market has been remaining in the box. It did that on 3 occasions so far. That's me just looking at that layer. Just looking at the box. Now, the next thing I'll do is I'm going to look and see if the smaller candles are becoming more frequent. And here you saw that these candles are smaller. You saw that. So now when I come over here and start looking at these, I want to see more of the smaller candle activity again. So you kind of see what I'm doing? I'm not saying anything. I'm not talking to the market like, hey, market, I need you to give me some more small candles. I'm just watching. We all sitting here just looking. So we're going to watch and see what the market does. Now, when the market starts to do this more frequently, that's how you know. But you didn't tell the market to do it. You're just observing what the market is doing. You understand? And then eventually it becomes so obvious that you can't even question it anymore. Eventually you start just seeing smaller candles. Then the big candles, it'll be 1 or 2 of them. Then it goes back to smaller candles again. So you see how it shifts from the bigger candle dominance to the smaller candle dominance. That's another layer right there. As a matter of fact, that's probably the most obvious layer that lets you know that the market is ranging and the market is stabilizing through the other layers. The other layers being the box, the barrier, the clusters. You're following me? So that's how I look at everything when I'm watching. I'm not telling the market what to do. I'm not counting. Oh, what did it? It did it 3.5 times, so that means this. No. All I did was observe. I'm like, all right, well, this is the 3rd instance of it doing it since I came on the observation tonight. Did it once here, did it here, and now it's doing it again here. Let's keep watching. See? But I'm not projecting or trying to tell the market what to do. That's not my job. My job is to do what? To observe. Just observe. And like I said, what will happen is through the process of you observing, you start to just pick up on when the market starts to do what we need it to do, and it happens faster for you as far as you seeing it. Because I have spoken to people in conversations, and I've had multiple messages sent to me where people are like, well, Mark, I'm not seeing things. And I'm like, well, what I want you to start doing is start recording what you're seeing, because I don't know what you're looking at. I just don't know. I can't see it. You understand what I'm saying? If anything, record your observation and literally come on a chart just like this, draw your box out. And this is an exercise that is going to help you guys. I was thinking about this earlier because I wanted to bring this up to make sure that you guys are understanding that this is going to help you and it's going to help other people in the group. But you come on a chart like this, right? You got your box and just observe. Just observe and then start talking and type it, if anything. Matter of fact, type it. The chart has a feature. You see this little thing right here where it says drawings. When you click on that, you can go to the option where it says text. And text lets you open up this. Come over here and type something. Just type what you're looking at. Like right now, if I wanted to type something, I would type in market beginning to show signs of staying in the box for longer. And that's it. Just type that and leave it there. And record this. And record this and then post it in the group. Because what happens is now when you do this, everyone else is looking at the market too. So if you type this and everyone else looks at this video and they're like, yeah, it is. I noticed that. That's called synergy. It means that everyone else is seeing what you're seeing. Or I should say, you're seeing what everyone else is seeing. And that's what is important. So if you're telling me you're not seeing things, if you're seeing this, when this market decides to stabilize and you get the smaller candles and they in the box, and then next thing you know, RCB comes and blah, 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 blah. If you are already doing this process where you're recording your observation and you're typing in what you're seeing, when RCB comes, you're going to record that too. And you might type in something like, I think this is RCB. Is it? Type that, right? I think this is RCB. Is it? And record it. And if you even put an arrow, like put an arrow there. Or a little point-to-point line like this. I think this is RCB. And point at what you think RCB is. And record it. And then post that in the group. See, because now I know and we know what you're looking at. I can't tell what you're looking at when you just tell me, well, I'm not seeing things. Because I see things all the time. I'm seeing shit all day. It's not necessarily anything that leads to a trade. But I see when the market slows down. I see when the market stays in the box for longer. I see when the candles start getting smaller. Is that not what you're seeing? You see that? Y'all understand what I'm saying? Yes. Record your observation. Take the box. As soon as you see it penetrate the strike, move the box. Just observe and record. Here, move the box like this. Right? Type something. What do you see? Market is still violating the bottom of the box. It's not there yet. Put that here, record that, and post that. Y'all understand what I'm saying? What are you seeing? You have to go through this process so that you sharpen up. And when you're not seeing this, it means that you're seeing the market stabilize. But what layer are you seeing? Are you seeing the candles smaller? Are you seeing the candle staying in the box for longer? Huh? What are you seeing? You're seeing something. So don't belittle your observation is basically what I'm getting at. This is big. This exercise that I just gave you to do, I should see a whole bunch of recordings in the chat. A lot of them. With just observations. It don't always have to be RCB or a trade. Shit. Take your box, move it here, and type what you're looking at. What are you looking at? What are you looking at? Type it. This is what observation is, because you're learning from this. So are we. And this will align you with us and vice versa. This is how we're creating the synergy that we need. See? And another thing that this does, you know what else this does? This holds you accountable so that you don't do no bullshit either. You can't do bullshit if you're doing this. You can't do no bullshit if you're accountable. This is holding you accountable. Look, you got a new box here. Type it. Literally type it out. Market is in a new box right here. Type that. Market is in a new box right here. And then show us. Now, is the market in a new box? Yes or no? Yes. See, you need to be able to know that this is what is going on. Because now, let's say that I took all of this off and I just got this up and I'm just looking at the chart like this. What's this? This doesn't mean anything to us. But when you got the box up, you got your box drawn, this means a lot. Because this is going to show you, all right, well, are these candles going to stay in the box, or is the market still violating the box? See? Record this. Observe for another 2 minutes. Like, observe until this binary expires and see where the candles end up. If the candles don't violate the bottom or the top of the box, the candles are in the box still. That'll be another instance of the candles being in the box again. And you have an observation for it. It's recorded. Like, don't belittle this. Don't think that this is small or, you know, that's a waste of my time. No. This right here is going to elevate your understanding of the process. It's like working out. This is like working out when nothing else is going on. All right, there's no trade setting up. So what? The process is still being applied, however. You should still have a box up, and you should still be looking to see what the market is doing. You want to see what the market is doing right now in the box? Here you go. Here you go. This is what the market is doing right now. All right, let's see if the market is going to stay in the box. Talk through it. All right, market look like it's going to violate the box. All right, cool. Let me move the box. Let me remove the box. So then you move the box. Now here you go, another box. Now the box is down here. Let's see if the market is going to start staying in the box again down. You see what I'm saying? So you keep doing this and you're following along and actually giving value to the time that you spend observing. I'm just saying, because if you record this and then you type out what you're seeing, what it is doing is reinforcing the process. And that's what's important. Because if you don't do this type of stuff that I'm giving you to do, the type of silly shit you'll end up doing, you'll start opening up tickets. Oh, look, almost got a +1 here. Oh, look at that. There's option price in here. Look at that. Oh, look at this. Oh, this is hanging. Oh, I could take this. I got 5 seconds left. This is money on the table. I could take that click. And you start doing bullshit. See how easy it is to do bullshit? Look at that. Look at that just now that I just did. That I just showed you, rather. That was some bullshit that you could have done. Just because you're not spending your time applying the process. Because you're looking for a trade. See? You see how easy it is to do some bullshit? That's low-hanging fruit. Let me grab that. No, that's not what we're doing here. What we're doing is we are reinforcing the craft, elevating the skill at all times. That's what we're doing. So I'm telling y'all, what I'm giving y'all now to do, these exercises, these recording exercises, do them. Type, like, I don't care what you type something. Type a question. Is the market doing too much here? Look, you see this, right? You're like, all right, market's in the box, but I'm not sure. You're not sure? Type something. Is the market doing too much still? Question mark. Boom. Record that. Post that in the chat. Is the market doing too much still? This is how you elevate. Because you're looking, you're like, well, man, it looks like it's kind of slow, but I'm not sure. It's in the box, but I'm not sure. All right, ask. Record and ask the question. This is gonna sharpen you. See, these are more important than when you record RCB. Hold on. We have plenty of RCB recordings. Plenty of those. I want to see what else you're seeing. I want to see what you're seeing when the market's not stable. How do you identify it? How do you identify it when the market ain't stable? How do you identify it? Because what happens is the market transitions. So sometimes the market will look as if it is stable, but it ain't there yet. Do you know that? Do you know that it's not there yet? See, I'm not going to know that. We will not know that unless you record your observation and ask. Or record your observation and type out what you think is that you're seeing. Type it out. I need to know what's in your head. This is going to help. I'm telling you guys. This is what the box does. And I need to see how you're moving the box. I need to see how you're seeing the candles in the box. I need to see where you put the box. Record it. Let me see where you put the box. Matter of fact, here, let this be your first recording. Open the chart. right? You come up on a platform like this and you open up the chart, right? You go in the markets or whatever, click in, open up your chart. Chart is open. Bring this over, hide this, open up your chart, draw the box. Like, as a matter of fact, this is what I want. I want everyone to do this. Some of you are like, what? Everybody. I want everybody to do this. Open up a chart, blank like this, right? And if you don't know how to get your candles the right size, I showed you this one time. Zoom all the way in and then click the minus sign 5 times. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. When you get to 5, that's the size. So this is the size right here that you should be at. Right there. Zoom all the way in and then click out 5 times. So now, open up your chart. You see the candles here? Draw the box. I want you to record this. Record everything that I just showed you just now. We still recording now. Look, take your rectangle and draw the box. Where you going to draw the box at right now? Where's the box going to be? It's going to be right here. Draw the box. This is what I want to see everybody do. I want to see a recording of this in the chat from everybody who's watching that's in the group. Oh, damn, Mark. Yep. Record this and post this in the group chat. So the group chat should be flooded with a recording of you doing this. Now, why am I doing this? Because you need to take everything serious that I'm telling you to do. And you're not excluded. You're not immune to anything. If I do it, you have to do it. Because this is what I do. See, everything I'm sharing with you is what I do. So if you expect to elevate and you expect to be great at this, you got to do what I'm doing. So that's everyone's homework for tonight. Record yourself, open up the chart, and draw in the box. See, because it's going to tell me a lot about what you're seeing. Wherever you draw the box, it's going to tell me everything about what you're seeing. And I just explained how to zoom all the way in and then click out 5 times to get this candle size. Then you come over here on the side and you can stretch the candles like this. So you want to stretch them, so that you can see at least 4 of the lines like this. You got 1 line, 2 line, 3 line, 4 line. So when you stretch, I don't want to see this. I don't want to see this. I want to see this. Stretch them out so that you got 4 lines in the shot. And then draw your box. See, now we can move the box. Where should the box be now? It should be here. See, it's little stuff like this that makes all the difference. And if you're doing the little things, you'll be able to do the big things. I'm going to see how many of y'all are going to be cooperative. It's 48 people in here now. I'm going to see how many recordings I get. Because I know that a large number of that is TA people. Mm-hmm. Mark, do you mean me too? Yes. Jay Carly too? Yep. Jay Carly gonna be the first one to put it in there. Watch. Because she's not hard-headed. Look at her talking her bullshit. Talk about she gonna cooperate in the morning. The software is Screencast-O-Matic. So matter of fact, I will post the link for that in the chat. Taking away all the excuses. Oh, I don't know how to record yet. All right, well, you're going to learn today. That's it right there. That's the website. Screencast-O-Matic. Because it doesn't make sense for you to be here and not engaged. If you're here, you should be fully engaged with what we're doing. Fully. This is how you're going to become great. It's not letting you log in. What do you mean by that? When you go to the site, you don't have to log in to record. I think you have to log in to upload videos and stuff like that, but I don't think that you have to log in to record. And matter of fact, Jay Carter, isn't there a tutorial that you did for screencast? I think she did a tutorial that talks about it. Correct me if I'm wrong. I think you did one. If she did, she'll post the video for how to do it in the chat. Seemed like she did. Carrie's on it. Mm-hmm. JT's on it. Okay, so you do have, okay, all right, cool. So she got a tutorial for uploading. So she's going to put that in the chat, the link for it. I just heard something just now. She probably posted it. Yeah, so, you know, hands-on. Hands-on. Yeah, she just posted the link for it in the group chat just now. Melanie already got her recording in there. Come on, Mel. Come on now. Her recording is up in the chat now already. I see Paquet is in there also. Let's go. She said, like to hear it, here it go. And however you got to do it, because I think that it looked like you used your phone. Let me see how she did it. Yeah, I think she just used her phone and just recorded the screen. That's acceptable. That's acceptable. If you got to use your phone, I don't care what you use, as a matter of fact. Just let me see you do it. If you don't know how to use your screencast, you know how to use your phone, right? Use your phone. That's what I like. No excuses. So, you know, to some it may seem like, dang, why are you making us do that? Same reason that the market does what it wants. You don't ask the market nothing, do you? You don't ask the market shit. I'll leave it right there. Okay, Kelly. So Kelly's working on it. And for anyone that's not in TA, this is the type of stuff that we do here. What I'm telling everyone in the group to do now, see, we move collectively. You're not here by yourself. That's the whole point. You ain't the Lone Ranger. You're here learning, and you're here as a part of a group. The reason that you'll be successful is because the group is going to help you become successful. And the group is simply people following instructions from me. So if you follow instructions from me, that's why the group is going to succeed. The same reason that people that do bullshit, they don't last here. They leave. I don't kick them out. They leave. If you're busy doing dumb shit, that means you're not following instructions and directions. And if you're not following instructions and directions, you're not following the blueprint. Because the same things that I tell you to do is what I do. I'm not telling you to do stuff I don't do. I'm telling you to do stuff I do. Doo-doo. I know that sounded crazy, but it is what it is. Silliness. Look, that says it all. Don't ask why. Just follow instructions. Swallow your pride and listen. That's it. Yep, carry for the win. Yeah, matter of fact, on that note, we'll wrap it up. That's enough. All right, y'all got your homework. Good night. Dom the Monko.